dun, 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 dun. Ba-da-ba, ba-ba. Welcome to another live session of Epic Proportions. How's everyone doing this morning? I'm doing great. My hair's not, but I'm doing great. My hair is not, but I'm doing great. Arbin Memishi is on. Buenos tardes. Okay. Thanks, Clay. All right. So yeah, going to talk about some cool things we got coming up. Also going to talk about some product knowledge that we got going on with this. Ari Ernie wants you to shop at MiR Tactical. The Bald Eagle is always looking over his shoulder. So yeah, let's get going today. Let's get you rocking and rolling. Rocking and rolling. Where's my... whatever. Let's move on. Let's just move on. So, awesome auction last night. This time, I'm going to be mixing up. We're going to have some pistol mystery boxes as a lower cost option. They're going to be pistol combinations that have not been on the show. So that's going to be interesting. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 pistol boxes. Each pistol box will be unique. All 3 have to be sold before the pistol boxes get open, because one of them will actually have a $50 gift card in them. Okay? So that's right. S Sphincter says what? So tonight, those will be the pistol mystery boxes. We're still going to do the big mystery boxes, and the big mystery box tonight will be something we've never done at all. So look forward to that. But then there's going to be pistol mystery boxes. There's going to be 3. And to win, all 3 have to be sold, and one of them is going to get a lot more than what they paid for. So check that out tonight. Paintball Explosion indoor or outdoor, play has been maxed out, capped out, so that we'll have to see you guys next time. It might be next weekend. We don't know. We're going to just play it by ear and see how everything goes with this. So if you do have one of the, what's it called? Tickets, congratulations. If you don't, sorry, we'll look at it next time. We are going to send you more information with that. Pandora's Box, that's going to have a cap on it. We're approaching that cap right now. So, all right. Let's keep moving on. Let's go talk to some product today. A little product knowledge, all right? So everyone's seen certain things on our optics, right? So let's talk optics for a little bit. I know someone wants to talk about HPA units. We'll get to that today too. But mostly with airsoft, you have 2 different types of optics. You have red dots, which is just a dot that puts a little red dot right in the middle, or green or blue. And they come in all different shapes and sizes, kind of like human beings. These Vulcan ones are inexpensive. These are about $30 for these because they're polymer on the outside, but you don't need too much. Then you can get up to like the hollow sights, kind of like the EOTech style, which I don't have any right here, right on me right now. But those are a little more expensive, a little more accurate. They're going to hold more true. Those are mainly meant for recoil. Now, once you move off of that, then you're going to move to a adjustable optic. Like this one is either a fixed or adjustable, like a 4x32 or a 4x40. Now, these have adjustable zoom. Anytime you see like a number here to a dash to another number means it's an adjustable zoom. So like this one right here is a 2.5 to 10 adjustable zoom, and then you also have your focus right here. So this is the next step. A lot of people like magnified optics, kind of like this, where they're kind of small and kind of adjustable, not mainly to see where the BB is going, but to see kind of like what's around, right? So this is almost like a binocular in a way. You can kind of use this as a way, even though it's got a crosshair and everything like that, to kind of scope the field out and see where everybody is. Once you upgrade from that, then you obviously get to like, a big scope. This one is a smaller version of a big scope, but you normally would see these on like a DMR platform, kind of like what we have here. Let's get this big chungus up. Oh, yeah. Then you adjust to a normal scope here, where this one's a little more fancy in the fact that you have adjustable, you can adjust your sights. You have different intensities of green, red, and blue, so different colors of your reticle. And then also adjustable zoom here. Again, a lot of people like the adjustable zoom, mainly because in airsoft you're not shooting 400 yards. So you can kind of get it to a really good fine tune of what you're actually shooting at. Or zoom in really, really tight so you can see things far away, like I mentioned before. So that's, oh God. That's just a quick little tutorial on optics and kind of like what you want. Mainly, red dot sights are for more CQB. Obviously, the magnification's for a little bit farther length. Some optics, like this one, or the one that Eddie wants, has a normal like magnified optic here, and then a little RMR, and the RMR is a little bit of a red dot. So, yeah. So that's a little bit about some optics, some optic choices. We are gonna have some more optic choices on these auctions, so I'm working on that right now to get a lot of that for next week. All right, let's have some more fun. Let's have some more fun. I brought this up yesterday, but we'll go through it. This is a M27. So this is another product look that we had. These are new. It's a little different than a 416. Let me go grab a 416 real quick. Well, first off, obviously, you note that the 416 and the M27, this one, are different colors. But there's a lot of differences between the two, actually. And I'll show you kind of what the differences are between these two. One is the length, okay? The length of the 416 is the M27 has an additional like 3 to 4 inches of barrel length. So that's number one with that. The rail and the receiver are pretty much the same. However, these 416s are based on the A5 model. So with the 416, you have a functional bolt catch, secondary bolt catch right here. You have a bolt catch right here. And you have different ambi controls, a different receiver slightly. This is based on the old version of the 416. So you notice there's no ambi selector. Okay, no ambi selector on this one. No ambi mag release. And there's no ambi bolt release. This has the normal bolt, where this one has this big giant paddle. Rails are pretty much the same. Gas blocks are the same. The A5 has the integrated front sight right here. So you see this right here. This has the integrated front sight, where these have add-on sights right here. So that's a little bit of the difference between the two. Other than that, I mean, the bottom of the receiver, if you guys look right here, the nut on the bottom of the receiver is a little different, the castle nut, because you have a different base plate. So you guys can see that right there. This one just has a single point sling. This one has a dual point sling mount. The castle nut is a little thicker on the A5. Right down, you guys can see that right down there compared to the thinner one of the A4. And the grip is different too, because this one is a smooth grip. This one has that little bump. Also, you see here the trigger well has got a curved trigger well or trigger guard, where this one's just a flat straight. So they're two different, totally different styles. This one, the M27, is a little more, classic styling, including the stock, where the A5 is more of the newer styling. This stock is actually a little more comfortable, and you can fit more batteries in it. It's rubberized on the back, so after you bash in your friends and blast them in the face, you do a little whirly bird, and pow, right in the kisser, right there, right in the nose. That's what happens. Wah, bah, pow, right there, right there. This will have more surface area for that. But this will bounce back, so you can continuously do that. Charging handle is about the same on both of them. Again, this one's a more classic look. It's a little more expensive at $480, mainly due to the length. Okay, when you add length to anything, it gets more expensive. Yeah. So this is the M27. You still have an Avalon gearbox. Both have the upgraded Avalon gearbox shells. So even though the bodies are a little bit different, the internals between this M27 and the new Gen 416 are exactly the same. This has the new generation Avalon internals in it. Rotary hop-up right there. So you're going to get really good, accurate hop. But yeah, if you want, like, this would be a DMR type platform. I mean, technically it's 5.56, but you know. Or you can be real Gucci and piss everyone off at your Milsim event and put a drum mag on this, like this, and call it an LMG. There you go. Now you have an LMG, guys. Except you gotta stick the mag in. Whatever. So there you go. Ugh. That is the M27. All right, what other questions do we have today? Russian Roulette wins P-Box. That is on June 6th and 7th. That one doesn't fit the mag wall so well. Let's rock some shades. Let's get some shade. We're going to be shady. The real Slim Shady. Let's move on. So, I don't know if I did this yesterday, but this platform has been really, really popular. This is a T6, not Terminator 6, but T6 KWA. What makes this real nice is that they do have their own auto cutoff mags that you can use. However, you can use any mag. KWA's build quality is exceptional. Like, as a company, they kind of like are hit or miss, but like just as a business. But their actual product that they release is always top notch. And why I like this gun, and then they have a different version, which you guys have seen, which is the QRF, which is the 9mm version. They have one that comes back like this, which we never had on the show, and one that's got a little bit of a 9mm banana. These three versions are just extremely solid. I mean, even the stock, when you have it fully extended, I mean, just a little bit of wobble, pretty much nothing on there when it's fully extended, which is really, really good. You have no wobble even between the receiver and the rail section here. Everything here is M-LOK. You have a little bit of a Picatinny on the bottom here. KWA does this. I don't know how they get away with this, but I guess it works. It gets through customs. It's an anodized orange tip. So it's like a blaze orange anodization rather than painted. So that's something cool. All the rails are going to be the same length between the QRF and this T6. Because KWA makes OEMs most of the stuff for PTS, you get this really nice PTS grip as well. So real smooth, real awesome, really crisp trigger response. That's your break. Let's see if I can get closer. Like that's your break point right now. So it's actually pretty short already. You have safe, semi, and full auto, like a normal AEG should. And these are just really, really good if you like up close quarters battles. This is your stock retention. So you can see it's a full metal piece. So actually pretty significant. And then your battery compartment back here. It's a little tight, but like where G&G has a bunch of different like crap in their battery stocks, this one doesn't have too much. So you can actually fit like an Elite Force battery in there. All you got to deal with is this stupid fuse right there. So, but ultimately, not too bad battery space. Pretty easy to get back on, maybe. There we go. So yeah, that's the T6. And you get these real cool PTS sights as well on these, which is really cool. If you guys can see the PTS sights that you get on there. These are really nice. So you get a lot of PTS Gucci with these. You get the grip and you get the sights, as long as they're real solid frame. And for most hands, if you don't go with any grips or anything like that, this kind of cutout section right here, this dip, is actually really nice. I mean, I have smaller hands. My hands aren't big. But this dip right here, like, it almost has a built-in foregrip in a way. So that's why we did on some of our custom builds that little mini Fortis grip, a little angle grip, because it actually fits like super comfortably. It gives you just enough and you have almost a built-in stop with this rail section right here. So yeah, these, I mean, like I said, these look really cool, very popular. The 9mm are a little more popular than the M4 mag version, just because 9mm's Gucci. So, you bid 25 bucks. Yeah, but the PTS mags, the PTS like Ronin or EPM mags fit real good too. They're a little tight, but that's the PTS mags. The EPMs fit really good. Everything's a little tight until you break her in. Mike Honcho knows all about that. So that's what it looks in red Gucci. The Gucci of the Reds. Let's take some questions. What else we got here? 416, yeah, there's a lot of 416, but it's 416 A5s, okay? 416 A5s, A5, not the steakhouse, but, or is that A1? That's A1 steakhouse. I got a little Base Hunter stuck in my head. Everybody know who Base Hunter is? Any 90s kids will know who Base Hunter is. Now we're gone, I realize my love with you was strong. Now, I'm just going to do a quick product update. A few things that we have that came in that I haven't shown on the live stream yet. Again, this is just little stuff. Today is going to be massive in the fact that I got UK Arms coming. I have ASG coming. I have Elite Force coming. I have more Condor coming in. So the normal like MP5 A5. Where's my MP5 A5? Down here. The Elite Force ones. Whoop, fumble. The Elite Force mags are made out of polymer, which are good. You know, if you lose them, whatever. That's right, River. These are the Dog of War MP5 mags. So I just got these in. These are, I got to see what the price is. We'll let you guys know the price later. But these are the metal MP5 mags. So Dogs of War is Elite Forces or Echo One's kind of full metal line. So they have AK mags. They have M4 mags. But yeah, so these are the Dog of War metal. So we'll have these on the show later today. So we're going to have MP5 metal mags. They fit. This is the Elite Force 19 or MP5. Fit right in there. A little bit, but not too bad. So if you ever wanted a metal MP5 mag, we'll have those on tonight. What other is a cool product that we got in yesterday? Well, I'll show you some more stuff tomorrow morning. Like I said, I got a bunch of Gucci stuff coming in. So if you guys want Gucci accessories, tonight's going to be the night. What else do we have today? Let's look at Aries Striker Amoebas. You want a return on product? No product, no profits. All right. So let's do a little review on this, and then we'll go into some flash hiders, then we'll take some more questions that we have. They are. The Dogs of War are they're more expensive, right? So you can get these Elite Force ones for like $6. These are going to be more in the 10 to 12 range because they're metal. These, I go over these every night a little bit, but I kind of wanted to go a little bit more in depth with these striker rifles. So these, the reason why these became so popular is Aries has supported them in the way no one actually has, and no one cares to, and be honest with you. So when Aries came out with this striker rifle, they decided, let's flood the market with all these accessories. So everyone can customize them. So here's the differences, and they came out with 3 models. This is an AS01. You'll see an AS02, which has the barrel cut down like this. And then we have an AS3, which literally is a pistol like this, cut off. So nothing from here on, and a barrel that's like this. It's like a pistol shot, a pistol sniper. That is an AS03. Now, in Aries Infinite Wisdom, they made a separate hop-up unit for an AS01, an AS02, and an AS03. No one knows, and I don't even know if Aries knows, but whatever. So here's a couple things too. So Ares, these rifles are the most customizable rifles out there because Ares literally produces everything for them. Let's talk about the exteriors, then we'll talk about the interiors. They make an M-lock rail for this. Then they make an octagon where it's like a metal octagon rail that goes up to here. They have a fluted barrel, which you guys saw on the few auctions where it's just like a twisted rifled barrel. Then they have a short version of that barrel. Then they have a mag adapter. Then they have 25 different flash hiders for the end of these. They have 2 mags. This is the bigger mag that holds 38 rounds, 40 rounds. Then they have a smaller mag that is only the size of this right here. Okay, so double whammy. Then, on top of that, they have an additional stock plate and adjustable stock back that adds a little bit of a cheek riser to it, and it gets rid of this rubber butt pad and actually puts a adjustable length stock on there. On top of that, not only that, they have about 20 different bolt handles that you can buy as well. So, I mean, it's crazy. A threaded berry. Yeah, that's right. A threaded berry. So, that's the bolt handles. I mean, it's insane how many different bolt handle combinations they have. Now, let's talk about the internals now that we've talked about the externals. Well, the internals, what's really nice about this, a lot of people know top dead center hop-ups are the best because normal hop-ups, what's happening is that you're turning a wheel and the wheel is connected to another wheel that is pushing an arm down on the thing. So every time you tighten it, the arm is there. Well, you're going to get some bounce with that because there's no pressure on the top of the nub. You have a bucking and you have a nub. The nub is pushing down on the bucking, creating the backspin. So with a normal hop-up unit, you have this arm, and this arm may flex. That's why you see upgrades on VSRs that are metal arms, because the polymer ones have a tendency to bounce, so you get not as good consistency. Why a top dead center is the best is because you're putting direct pressure on that nub, pushing direct pressure down on the bucking. So you get more consistent pressure, which gives you better consistent backspin, which gives you your farther range. So that's why these are good. Now, Action Army, what makes the downfall of this being top dead center is when you put a scope on it, you cover up the way to adjust your hop-up. So what Action Army has is a wheel that goes in here that goes under your rings for your optic that allows you to kind of spin it on the side. Really cool. Action Army does also make an upgraded hop-up unit. One of the things that this always needs is a good hop-up unit. Stock one's okay. Action Army for 60 bucks is really, really good. Upgrade for that. Functionally, this thing is actually real functional. You actually have a chamber indicator right there. You guys can see that right there. So every time you chamber around, that'll go there. They do make upgrade springs for these. They have a 500 and then a 550 spring from Ares, so you know that they're going to shoot 500 and 550. Obviously, if you upgrade the barrel, which is a VSR spec barrel, so it's got the VSR cut barrel, that FPS may swing. They do have stainless cylinders for these. They do have upgraded piston bearing. They have upgraded piston. They have upgraded spring guides and upgraded springs. However, if you're like Bob right now, you can go Gucci on this, okay? So the Gucciest of the Gucci is Edgy Customs. So Edgy Customs is a guy in the Philippines, literally a guy in the Philippines, that creates custom sniper parts, mainly kits. And for like 500, 550 bucks, he replaces everything. So you get a solid, a new barrel, everything but the bucking and the hop-up. You get a new barrel, you get a new piston, new spring guide, new spring, new cylinder, and his stuff, we're going to be testing this out because this is what he claims, and he's a pretty well-respected person in the airsoft industry, but he's getting on these Ares Striker rifles between 75 and 125 meters, so that's between 275 and 320 feet. With these Ares and MiR Striker rifles, which is crazy. And there's a slight difference between the two kits that he sells to get that additional distance. But that's what's going to make these a very potent force, is that Edgy is supporting these now, and that he's going to have some really, really cool high-end upgrades for this. All right, last thing I want to note here is that Aries always has a QA on their rifles. So this one was at a temperature of 30 degrees Celsius on 9/12/2019. That's when this rifle was manufactured, 9/12/2019. It shot a average joule of 1.56 joules. So there you go. This also does, like I said, have a threaded barrel. So you can get an adapter, or Aries makes direct replacements that put on like the Barrett 50 cal, like, you know, V flash hider or anything like that. But the ones that we sell are an adapter that turns it into a 14 mil counterclockwise. Most Aries guns are, unfortunately, positive thread. No one knows why. Last thing I'll talk about here is your tools. So usually to adjust this and to take the whole gun apart, you have to have Allen keys. Well, Aries decided, hey, let's sneak them in and make it functional. And they put it right in there. There's actually all 4 of your different Allen keys that you'd need to take this rifle apart are actually in the stock. Now you got to find a way to put it back in. There we go. Slap it a base, slap it a base. So this is a really cool gun. You have 2 also, I forgot to mention this too. You have 2 mag releases. You have a normal push mag release there, or you can actually pull down right here. So if you're firing and you don't want to do this and pull like this, you can actually do a little kick. If you got strong fingers, you do a little push right there. Whoop. Or you do the back. You do it like that. So these are, I really like these. The build quality of these is better than like a JG Bar 10. They're just super solid. And I really like the rubberized butt plate because it'll bounce. I'll show you on the floor. You can see it bounce. Bounce, 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 bounce. All right, let's go to some other questions. I'm not buying your patches. I'm not buying your patches. I want a couple. You want a couple mid caps? We'll talk about tonight. Plus the rock. Oh, God. I'm scared. The Tippmann does have a top dead center hop-up. However, the issue was the way the top dead center hop-up was manufactured, it didn't prevent bouncing. It actually didn't like lock the nub in. It allowed the nub to kind of like bounce still. You have to make sure you have a like really solid connection there. That one does. The Tippmann originally did not have that. That's why people were putting in mini springs to kind of push that that nub down. All right, so I promised, I think Mike Zarnot, I promised him a difference between HPA systems. I don't have a full lineup in front of me, so I'm just going to talk through them right now. So 3 different types of HPA systems, or 3 companies in the most part, right? You have Polar Star, Redline. There used to be this guy, he made purple ones. I forgot what his company was, but he's out of business now. And then Wolverine. So Polar Star, Wolverine, and Redline. Okay. Redline pretty much only makes the N7. They make really good air rigs. So if you need a really high refresh air rig, that's your air rig. That and Polar Star make really good air rigs. We'll get into that later. But they come out with an N7. So Redline is pretty much N7. N7 is a semi, either mechanical or electric pneumatic HPA system. What does that mean? Well, it's mainly meant for semi. You can shoot full auto, but it's mainly meant for semi. The electric, the pneumatic, the fully pneumatic one, which is no battery or no anything like that, is fully, semi only. And the whole thing about that is you're getting more consistent air cushion behind the BB with the electric pneumatic guns. Now, Polar Star has like 14 different, and we'll do a bigger talk about this, but I just thought I'd just talk a little bit about it. Polar Star has like 14 different options, okay? They have a jack, they have an F1, they have an F2, they have a fusion engine, and then they have a Kythera, which is coming out. Now, fusion engine is still the OG. The fusion engine comes with the entire like gearbox shell, right? That one's got the most customization pretty much that you can have, along with the F1 and the F2, which uses the fusion engine technology in a cylinder. However, the gold standard is still the fusion engine. So that's that. Number 2 is the like F1 and F2. The F2 uses 2 solenoids, so you get more consistent air pressure. They're all cylinder upgrades. The jack is just a detuned version of the F1 and F2. So for inexpensive hop-up builds, or for inexpensive HPA builds, the jack is the cheapest one that you can get. Still works really well, not as high level of customizations. The one thing you got to remember in all these is your HPA system will shoot only as good as the air consistency, so how much air is being put behind the BB and the consistency of that, and the alignment. Okay, if you have a really good airsoft system and a crappy alignment, your BBs are going to just everywhere. They're going to spit everywhere. Polar Star then also has the Kythera, and those are sold out right now. They're in pre-order, but now we're starting to probably get those next week. I think that's what they told me. That one is more like the Red Line, which is a pneumatic, but it has a special, almost like real steel trigger brake. So it includes a trigger system in there that almost gives you a real steel trigger brake for your semi-automatic only. It's mainly meant for semi only, so that's that. Now let's go to Wolverine. So Wolverine has a few different options. They have a Wolverine bolt. So Wolverine bolt is like an air system for your sniper rifles. They actually have one for the Ares Striker as well. So what you're doing, instead of using a spring to put tension on a BB to shoot it out, you're using air to shoot that out. So what's going to happen there is your pull is going to be really short because you're not having to pull a spring back. It's kind of like a Jag scatter gun. You're not having to pull a spring back compared to like a spring shotgun, so it's easier to pull back. Then they have their normal Infernos. They're in Spartan Edition. Spartan Edition just is an Inferno without the board on it. Ultimately, they're drop-in cylinder kits, similar to the Jacks and the F1s. You know, they all use the same solenoids between all the factories. It's just kind of reputation between the manufacturers. Then, obviously, Wolverine has the MTW, which they've been focusing on mainly lately, which is the full gun. It's the full, they built a gearbox shell around the engine, so it's going to get perfect alignment, but it's based on their M4, so you have to use their M4 platform for that. So they've just put a whole gun together, kind of like what Tippmann did, except Wolverine did that. So they have a CNC body, different rail lengths. They're a little more customizable. So that's another option as well. Now, both Polar Star and Wolverine have what are called air stocks. So it's a bottle. They usually get like a really thin air tank bottle that screws into the back. You can then either run a remote line to it as backup or just use that tank as the part of the stock. Redline has one too. So your stock, your buffer tube now becomes an air tank with a plate on the back. So there's that. Then they also, not to get more confusing, have what are called like CO2 stocks. So Polar Star and Wolverine now have those too. So if you don't want to use a tank and want to use a normal size buffer tube, they come with 33-gram cartridges, and you can shoot the air. I think there's 2 of them back to back like this in the stock, special stock you got to order again. And you can shoot, and you can use CO2 cartridges. Negative part about that, you're only going to get 300 to 400 rounds out before you're going to change CO2 cartridges out, so you better be a light shooter if you want to use one of that. But the benefit is you get an HPA gun that doesn't look like an HPA gun. No hose. No hose in different area codes. So that's that. There you go. So Mike Honcho's got everything. The Honcho Police has everything. So what's happening tonight? What's going on tonight? Where are we going here? What are we doing here? So every morning we're going to do one of these. We might have a bonus driving session every morning too. Every other morning or every once a week, twice a week, we'll drive. We'll be like the cars and just drive. We have our auctions tonight. You're going to see a lot of new product coming in from Lancer and Elite Force and ASG and even G&G, I think, and Condor today. I got a lot coming in today because of you guys. Thank you for doing that. So you're going to see all that at between 2 and 3 o'clock. We're going to showcase that in our stories as well as in our pictures in our profiles. If you guys ever need anything at all, just please message us at info@mirtactical.com or our Facebook page. We typically respond pretty quickly on that. So if you guys see something here that you in these auctions that you really, really want and want a good deal on, just send us your way. Send us a message and we'll try to work it out for you. I'm already working on somebody with some 28-gram G&G BBs because they wanted 28-gram G&G BBs, which we typically don't carry but can easily get. So just remember, if you did win something tonight, there's still a few people that need to pay from last night. I can tell you that the M27 will be back live tonight. No one paid for it last night, and I don't think they intend to pay for it. So if you want that'll be up again tonight. So guys, thank you for joining me this morning. Like always, you guys are the best. If you need anything at all, message us, and we'll see you at 6 p.m. tonight.